Hey guys, before we get started, we wanted to let you know about a new segment that we have coming on our YouTube. Whoop, whoop. It's called the Real Love Scenario. So basically, we get so many DMs and emails, people telling us their real life love situations. So all you have to do is submit your real love scenario submission to our link in our description. And then the last week of the month, we will read it out loud live on our YouTube, give our feedback, and we welcome you to comment, talk about it, so you can hear everything that's going on.
Ooh, all Dre's idea, just so you guys know, he's a genius.
Make sure you submit it.
You love me like yeah, you love me like no, you love me like oh, oh, oh. You love me like yeah, you love me like no.
So welcome back to the channel. It's
Dre
and Bree, and you're watching Worth the Wait. Real quick, before we get into the topic, I just want to say hair goals, okay? My hair has been growing. Go natural, girls. It's so worth it. I knew he would be mad. Okay, so today's topic is what's your IG? Dating and social media.
Social media.
Dating with social media.
Yes.
With and social media. So this is exciting. This is actually a well-requested topic because, I mean, everyone's on social media. So how do you date in this world that's filled with social media? So our first topic is going to be, what
is social media for? So I think we're pretty equipped to answer this because we do have a social media and branding consulting and management company. So we know a little bit about social media. If you don't know us already, I have about 40,000 followers. Bree has about 70,000. Our Worth the Wait has about 5,000, and all about it, our business page has 10,000. So I think me and Bree are on the same page here when we say that social media is a tool.
Yeah.
Social media is a tool. So one thing I tell people is take social media, especially if you have a business and things like that, take social media seriously, but don't take it personally.
Yeah.
So being intentional with what you do, but not getting all in your feelings because somebody unfollowed you or didn't like your picture or anything like that. But I say that social media is a tool. It's not the goal. So if you're going from here to New York, the goal is to get to New York. The goal is not to buy a car. A car is a tool. GPS is a tool. So you can have the most prettiest, fanciest car in the world, but if it don't get you to New York, then what's the point? Because it's just a tool, it's not the goal.
And even for, because that sounds very businessy, even for the average everyday person, it's still a tool, whether you use it for inspiration, for motivation, for a source of news, to be hip with what's going on. Exactly, keeping people up to date on your life, but it is not life. Like in my bio, I literally say IG is tool, it's not life. Meaning if you're waking up to social media, going to sleep to social media, every time you have a break, you use the bathroom, you're on your social media, that gets overwhelming, especially when you have goals and things that you have set for yourself. If you're constantly looking at what other people are doing, it can be discouraging, it can be depressing, it can be just unhealthy at the end of the day.
And we know it's hard because at the end of the day, we can move on to the next topic after this. But I know personally, sometimes you go on your phone to do something and then you open up like Instagram and you get like lost, like a black hole almost.
Especially them curly hair black babies. Oh my God.
Bree loves them.
They are so cute. I'll be like, take my phone. Yeah, it gets dangerous.
So first, or second topic, we want to talk about meeting people on social media.
Interesting.
So we know that's something very like common and new. Like even when we were in high school, like I'm 25, Bree's 26. Even when we were in high school, I think Twitter was just getting like popping. But you gotta think about even back in that day, like people had razors, sidekicks. Our camera phones weren't like anything.
Oh, you're talking about phones? I'm like razors and sidekicks. The flip phone.
Yeah, our camera phones weren't on the level of the camera phones.
Very true.
Even your internet access was so limited, I feel like back then you couldn't. But anyways, dating and social media. So I feel like when it comes to dating and social media, I feel like you can actually probably meet really decent in this day and age because social media is so popular. Like you can actually meet decent, like nice people on social media. I don't think the relationship should stay on social media.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't judge it, right? If you meet someone on social media, social media is to be social and to network and connect with people. So I think that that's great. But if you're talking to someone in their DMs for 3 months, that's a problem.
Yes.
Problem.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to make introductions, especially you look in somebody's bio, they're from DC and you're from DC, and they're kind of like, you know, into the same things that you are. Maybe they're a model, you're a photographer, or you're both into real estate, or you're both like dancers, or you know, maybe y'all know common people too. It's like, oh, I didn't know you know James. And that's how and it evolves like and becomes not on social media. It becomes like a real relationship. I think that's cool. Just don't make it like a catfish situation where you feel like you're dating somebody and you never met them.
Or all you see is their face.
Yeah. I think that's important too. That's the thing about social media too. You need to verify in person.
You just got, you gotta, yeah.
Because some people
don't fall in love with an Instagram page, okay? Get to meet the person and figure out who they really are.
Because they only want you to see what they want you to see.
Rob.
Alright, so we got 2 more things to talk about, keeping it quick and simple. So the third thing, what to trip about when it comes to dating and social media. What do you think, Bree?
Yeah, so I think that it depends on your relationship, for sure. The stage of your relationship, the dynamic of the relationship. I think that with me and Dre, where we are now, it's like we don't trip over pretty much anything. I could care less who slides in his DM, slides in his DM. We are very open and comfortable with like having conversations with people of the opposite sex, because at the end of the day, it's a social media platform. It's to be social, it's to connect, it's to find people with like-minded situations and passions and just careers and whatnot, so that you can connect outside of that. So I don't think you should trip on communication to and between male or female, as long as the dynamic and the atmosphere of the conversation is appropriate. I think that you shouldn't trip on likes. I think that that's why people post, is so that people will see it and like it. And so the same way that you would like another female's picture, you should be able to like a male's picture. I don't understand why people trip on that. What not to trip about. Commenting and like responding on things like that. Like, I mean, if you're in a relationship and like I commented on a man's picture with his shirt off, a bunch of hard eyes, that's a red flag. That's not appropriate. But if I commented on a picture of like a dude in a suit like walking down the street and I'm like, yo, this is a dope picture, you don't have a reason to trip over that. Like, that's what social media is for. I didn't think of anything else.
I think that first, if you're searching for something, you have trust issues in your relationship.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying those trust issues aren't justified. You may have reason for looking, but honestly, who has the time to look to see who somebody liked or who somebody followed? I feel like if you take the time for your significant other to try to find that out, then you have some type of trust issues in your relationship, and social media is not a problem that you should worry about. Like, you have trust issues just in general.
Yeah.
Like, if you come across something, like you just happen to be looking and the person like hard-eyed, like a dude with his shirt off, or like a woman who's like half naked, or maybe somebody you used to date or something like that, then it's like, okay. Yeah, it's like, okay, all right, this is a little unnecessary or anything like that. But if you're searching for something, then I feel like you have trust issues in general. But yeah, I think,
and then I think it's like, going back to that, it's like you have to talk about it, because social media is so frequent now and everyone's on it. I think it's sad to say that you have to have a conversation about social media when you're getting to know someone, but it's important because social media takes up a lot of our lives. You take a selfie, you post on social media. You're going out with your girls, you take a story and you put on social media. So having the person that you're with understand where you guys both kind of draw the line is super important, because why create situations over social media when it could just simply be talked about and handled?
And I think you'll be surprised what happens when you set expectations. Just piggybacking off of Bree, if you say, like, when me and Bree started dating, I was trying to grow my page, and basically she was growing her page as well. We were just like, we're not posting each other.
Yeah,
like, we want there to be like women to see Dre and be like, oh, Dre, oh, look at that single man when I'm not really single. And then like Bree looking, guys looking at her like, ooh, but she's not really single either. But we talked about it, we communicated, we already talked about it. I was like, I don't care if you talk, if some dude slide in your DMs, like I don't care if you answer back and say like, hey, or if somebody says, oh, you're beautiful, if you say thank you, like I don't care if you,
I mean, that's just common courtesy.
Yeah, I don't care if you do. So I think communicating the expectations is very important.
Yeah.
Make sure to talk about that.
Yeah. And I was gonna say, like, side note, guys and girls is a little different. Like girls, I feel like there's a stigma behind being like a bad girl, like when you're just cute and fly and whatever, that like you just think that every guy that you don't say thank you to or that gives you a compliment that you ignore, it makes your confidence go up a little higher, which is weird to me, like an ego boost. But then for guys, it's like if a girl gives a compliment to them, it's almost rude if you don't say like, ah, thank you, you know, even if you have a girl or don't have a girl. And I think that that is so weird. I think that women, we should be a little mature to, if someone gives us a compliment, just be able to say thank you. Now, that next comment that comes back on some, so where are you from? Or, you know, like, what do you like to do? Then, like, you don't have to respond to that. But just be courteous. Be a nice person. That's what I'm saying. You will make someone's day by just saying thank you. You know, just be nice. Okay. Next.
So, lastly, what not to trip about?
No.
Yeah, what not to trip about. So we already talked about what to trip about.
No, we didn't.
Oh, we talked about what not to trip
about.
Okay.
That's what I was looking at. I was like, he said it backwards.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about what to trip about.
Yeah. Which we kind of talked about. But yes. I think, like, okay, so one thing is it's important to talk to your person to make sure that, like, you're both comfortable with what each other posts, right? So I would trip if, like, Dre posted something that, like, even slightly was embarrassing to me or our relationship, and vice versa. So it's like we've had times where, like, I remember my birthday, I was like a little drunk and like I posted a story and I was like, I don't even know what I was saying, and like he had to text me to be like, hey, like that's not a good look, take that down. So whatever you talk about, you know, with your person, the things that you feel like you would trip about, bring those up and then don't do them. It's super simple, you know.
My pictures with my shirt off, it's her.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. She was like, do it.
I don't want to show that body, especially because it's not like sexual. You know, it's people go to the beach and when they're in the water, if you're a man, your shirt is off. That's nothing new. We see chests every single day. Now, if he had like a lollipop or like his hand going down his body or something like that, that's a little on the kinky side. We don't need that, but.
But I just said that to say that Brie, or who, like, she was the one. I didn't just go and just like do it in a sense. I think one thing to trip about is if you guys. So me and Brie talked about us not putting each other on our page. Mm-hmm. Okay, we had a mutual understanding. If you are dating somebody. And even if y'all getting engaged or y'all are engaged, I've seen this before, and you are not on that person's page at all, but they got their cousin on their page, they got for Mother's Day, they like, yo, I love Moms for Mother's Day. It's like,
everybody on their page with you, that's a problem.
And especially if they all over your page.
Yeah,
and
it's happened to me, y'all.
He or she. It's anybody, so it's like just don't. That's a reason to trip a little bit.
That's not even a trip. That's a red flag. You don't need a trip. You need a bounce.
I need to have a conversation.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, and I would love to hear the excuse as to why they don't have you on their page.
I mean, no, it happened to me. Like, so my guy told me that he didn't put me on his page because he has, 3 kids. And he was like, until, I feel comfortable, like, with them knowing I'm with someone. And I'm like, so you 3-year-old, 5-year-old, and what year? Like 6 months into the relationship.
Okay.
But, it was like, so you can't put me on your Instagram because your kids who aren't even old enough to have Instagram are going to see me. They didn't have Instagram. They don't have Instagram. So what type of thing is that? And it was other girls on the page that like weren't his significant other, but it didn't say that they weren't, It was like, I don't know, weird. And come to find out, it's because this nigga was sliding in DMs like he was whole single, so.
Or if they post you and be like, yo, me and my homie.
Oh, that is a big no-no. Oh my gosh. That's embarrassing.
That's not funny. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that happened to somebody. But I've seen it before to where it's like, ooh,
that's messed up.
So that is a reason to trip. I think other than that, if you're going to look for something and you see that they're like doing something fishy, then I think, yes, that's a reason to trip if something fishy is going on, but I think there's a bigger issue if you're going to search for stuff, because there's some trust issues in that relationship. And like I said before, it may be justified trust issues. They may have did something outside of social media, so then you went to search for things on social media. So it may be justified mistrust, but if you are searching for something with your significant other on social media, then there is a trust issue.
And those types of things have to be dealt with before you get in a relationship, because otherwise, if you have trust issues, you're gonna have them with that person, but you're also gonna have them with all the other added chaos that the world brings to us. And it's just like, it's too much. Like, why stress? Like, deal with the stuff, heal from the stuff, so you can live your life and just be full and not have to worry about the BS, because it's just too much.
Yeah, most people that I know, like, that trip about social media really heavy are the same people that look through their partner's phone, are the same people that's like, I don't want you hanging out with your friend or this person or that person.
All the unhealthy flags.
It's all the, like, it's like a simultaneous or like domino effect, I would say.
Yeah. So just be whole, y'all. Work on you and find you a good thing that you can communicate about your social media and not make it your life, okay? Because there's bigger fish to fry.
Bigger fish to fry.
Shush.
Awesome. So thank you for watching this video on social media and dating with social media.
So serious.
Don't forget about the Real Love Scenario submission. Make sure you submit your submission.
Follow us at Brianna Ponte, at It's Dre Smith, and at Worth B Wave.
And subscribe.
And until next time, we love y'all.